let's talk about how to get multiple dogs in one photo if they're not going to sit there and take the photo together. I'm a professional photographer of many years. I break down tips and tricks so that you can take more professional looking photos without the professional training or equipment. And making sure your dogs are all in one photo together is really important to us as dog parents, but it can be really difficult if your dogs are not perfectly trained to sit still and to wait and not to rush at you or look away. It can be really difficult. So let me save you some time, effort, and stress. The first thing you're going to do is pick out a location. This is where you're taking the photo. You need to make sure it's wide enough for all of your dogs to sit there. I have 3 dogs. I'll probably say all 3 dogs throughout the course of this video, but you know what I mean. You're going to pick that location, and then you're going to take your camera source, be it an actual camera or your phone, and you're putting it on a tripod. It must be on a tripod. This cannot move, or it makes it significantly harder to put this photo together. So you are putting this on a tripod and setting up your shot. Whatever your background is, you need to make sure that that camera source does not move so that you can blend these images together. Now you need to kind of figure out mentally where you're putting all of your dogs. So if you've got 3 dogs, you're going to figure out who's sitting where. And then you need to space these dogs out enough that they would not be touching if they were actually sitting there, unless you have some really good Photoshop skills. And then you're going to bring your dogs in one at a time, and you're going to not put them in the center. Only one dog goes in the center. Everybody else is off to the side. They must be in their own designated areas. So you're going to bring the first dog in, and you're going to set them down, and you're going to take a couple of photos. Make sure they're looking at the camera. We've done episodes on multiple ways to get your dogs to look at those cameras. I will drop those down below in our photo tutorial playlist. And then you're going to document that one dog. When you're done documenting that one dog, don't move the camera, but move the dog. Get the dog out of there, switch it for the next dog. Set that next dog where they are going to belong, and make sure you're not encroaching on the other dog's space. If you need to put down a piece of tape or some kind of little marker so you know where their feet ended so that they're not touching, so that their fur is not overlapping, that's going to be incredibly helpful to you, and you can just edit it out later if you need to. Document that second dog, remove them, bring in the next dog, document them. Again, we're getting them to look at the camera. We're trying to have the similar layout for each of these dogs. So if you want them looking at the camera, if you want them looking off to the side, those are the things you need to take note of so that your dogs aren't looking at all directions. Because you're not moving the camera, and because you've put the dogs in their separate locations that are not touching each other, now all you have to do is edit these photos together. So you're going to head over to Photoshop, drop in all 3 of those images, and you're just going to layer them on top of each other. You're going to take your lasso tool, you're going to highlight each dog, and you are going to have some of the background in that lassoed area. So you want to make sure you're not cutting them out around the fur, because that's going to look like you cut them out around the fur. You specifically want to make sure you are getting some of that background, and then you're going to blend that together. Now, as a pro tip, I do recommend that you also take a photo of the clean background without any dogs there in case you're going to need that. If you do need that, that's going to be your bottom layer. So first the clean background, then each layer of your dog. And then you're going to lasso each dog and cut them out and use a masking tool to remove the rest of the background. Then you're going to use a soft black brush, 100% opacity, to just go around the outside edges and blend them into the background. Now you have a consistent photo where nothing has changed but adding in a dog, and you are adding in all 3 of these dogs to this one image to create a graphic that is very clearly all of your dogs together where they belong, but you did not shoot it at the same time, which saves you time, effort, and a lot of stress to just be able to focus on one puppy at a time. Having backgrounds that are going to be strategic for this will really help you out. So have a busy background with plant life. This was a giant hedge that I took this photo in front of. Or have a solid color wall in your house. Make it easy for you to blend these things in, and make sure you shoot these photos back to back so you're not doing them at different times because you want the same lighting. If the lighting is shifting, then you might have to do a little extra work inside of Photoshop to make the colors match, but as long as you are lassoing around them and then using that soft round brush to blend it in, you shouldn't have too much trouble with this unless the sun dramatically changed over the course of the 2 or 3 minutes that you're photographing these things. But it's very easy to do, and you can do this in as little as 10 or 15 minutes from the time you are setting up your camera to bring the dogs in, to popping it in Photoshop and cleaning that up to get this finished image of your dogs all together. Now, some of you might have dogs that work really, really well together, and that's great. But there may be a time when it's just not working for you, no matter how well behaved or well trained your dogs are to do this specific thing. And this can come in really handy. Even if you're a brand new beginner to photography or to Photoshop or whatever, it's very easy and simple to do to create those beautiful images of your dog. You can do this inside, you can do it outside, and then you can enhance it as you get better at your photo skills as well. We've got a full playlist on how to document your dog and how to edit that documentation to get exactly what you need of your pup throughout the course of their life. I'll link it down below. We'll see you in tomorrow's episode.